gotta have booze.
Good morning, Americans. It's Friday.
All rise, order in the court. It's Friday.
It is Friday. The guy said it a second ago. I believe him.
So, good morning. The guy. Don't call Paul Harvey. Good day. The guy.
Well, you know, like people say, the man, you know, like he's the man. When it's Paul Harvey, I say, it's the guy.
The guy. The guy that has a son that sounds just like him and kept it up, which is actually.
There's a guy in the NFL that's like that. There's this broadcaster, dude. His name eludes me at the moment, but his son, he does like from the broadcast booth, and his son started working for the network, and their voice sounds exactly the same.
Marky,
Exactly.
when it's that many degrees here, it just snows. It freezes.
Yeah, but we'd definitely be looking at some frozen precip at that temp.
Bringing it back old school today, kind of just bouncing around. Mikey's got something that just happened. We'll get to in a moment, but Brandon here with a nice ceiling fan, by the way. It's been a week of ceiling fans around here. Oh,
I guess we should have put that on the Amazon list for people to buy.
What's up with this girl here?
The one with the bra on her head, or
I think it might be.
I'm not sure what's happening there.
All right, let's jump into court, see what we can catch. Hopefully, licking. If licking goes live, please.
I checked a second ago.
So, Ms. Larson, I just want you to know that Ms. Simmons has picked Friday the 13th.
Not by now.
Nothing wrong with that. 13 is lucky.
You're not worried about that? I'm not worried about it.
Nah. Black cats are supposed to be lucky, actually, just in case you didn't know that. It's a myth. I've had several. And look at me, I'm such a lucky girl.
That hair, my God.
What about your client? Not so lucky looking. Right now.
You can ask me about my Friday the 13th experience.
Is there a small area of melon juice on her bra head? Or is that? I can't tell.
I have it.
Sorry, Your Honor.
I said it at 9 o'clock, so I just went ahead.
Is she doing like a Civil War reenactment after this?
I don't know.
She's been shot.
Past 13. Lucky number 13 today. See a trend.
And Ms. Larson, you're receiving text notices?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and we're going to give you a copy of the order that I just signed, which has that court date on it.
Thank you.
Yes.
The 13th.
Creed was born on the 13th, so Black Cats, and the 13th is lucky for him. Let's see. That's a big glass of water there.
He's a big glass of water.
He's a
Of course.
Oh, reminds me of how much fun this was just waiting for something to happen.
Oh, yes, this reminds me of all that fun.
Yes. They'd sign. It has been a while since we've been able to analyze things that are happening. Like,
Your Honor, if you could.
No, you're good.
Okay, thank you.
The man-
If I could just go into my computer.
Sure.
It's sad to say I'm lousy without technology.
Is he on his
With it,
porch,
but I-
Brandon?
no, because there's just an entrance right into the bedroom, I believe.
Hell. Nothing wrong with that.
The lumberjack that's sitting in the audience, though, is fun, but I think
Guy with the big beard.
Was Brandon Martin present?
I believe he is.
Brandon Martin.
Wow.
Yes, Your Honor, that's me.
Right there, Judge.
Brandon, is there any
Thank you, Mr.
Brandons
Martin.
around?
And you're waiting for Ms. Simmons as well, all right?
Brandon?
Yes, yes, Your
Everybody waiting
Honor.
for Miss Simmons?
Okay.
By the way, luckily this is one of the slowest judges. So we got
Yes.
plenty of time to talk.
Got all day.
I hate to see this guy make love.
Ms. Simmons, I just called on Mr. Martin. Are you ready on that case?
Well, I haven't had a moment to speak with Mr. Martin, but I can tell you what the plan is.
They were on confirmation, and the plan is,
Well, Your Honor, I do have a waiver. Mr. Martin has not yet signed that. Because of the changing in the guard.
Two
the allegations
hoodies.
Here there is
It
damage.
must be
to,
31 degrees there as well inside.
Fire
the court.
extinguisher door. I did ask Miss Williamson to provide documentation. We're trying to find documentation for maintenance, but that hasn't been provided. So that's what the holdup is.
And Ms. Williamson is the prosecutor?
Sorry, she was the prosecutor who was formerly in this role.
Right, okay.
And so we have also made a request to maintenance for repair records, which have not been yet forthcoming. And I don't know how long that process takes, but that is what we're waiting for.
Did
There's
Brandon
an
beat
estimate
somebody
of
up,
the
you
damage,
think?
but I also want to see.
I don't
repair records.
know.
So
He's not here for drugs. He didn't
and-
feel anything.
Mr. Holcomb, who has the case now?
That would be me, mine, Your Honor.
Okay, so I'll also share with you that
Michelle,
your
thank
boss
you.
said the other day that he's really looking forward to your office extending lots of compromise of misdemeanor offers. So I'm assuming that might be what happens here.
yes, Sharon, we just are,
Okay.
yeah.
All right, so Mr. Martin, you're scheduled for trial next Wednesday. Ms. Simmons is requesting, she hasn't spoken with you obviously but since you're here, I'm going to speak with you, to strike that trial date, to give her more time to try to work with the state to see if there's some resolution that can be reached without going to trial. Are you willing to extend your speedy trial right another 90 days to accomplish that?
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
Okay, so with that understanding on the record, you can file a waiver. Ms. Simmons, just note that your client acquiesces. And
Acquiesces, Mike. You ever heard that?
Uh,
Thank you.
Mr. Martin, let me confirm, are you receiving text notices of hearings?
I am, Your Honor.
Acquiescing.
Okay. I'm going to reset the hearing for the 20th
He
of
needs
October.
a membership, by the way. That's got it.
So close, but so far.
Miss K, thank you. 20 bones. Let's get this Friday train going. Choo, 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 choo. Choo, choo.
Look, we're going to have to start doing streams at the same time you do your lottery, jackpot stuff. I saw all these donos come pouring in. We need to start doing it then so I can get a cut.
They love me.
I need a cut.
Losing money. By the way, that my lady there at BC Game, her Telegram got hacked. So there's like a bunch of Bitcoin people asking for Bitcoin and stuff. Well, all of my login information for my partner one is all right there.
Oh,
And I believe that was compromised because I have not been able to log into it. So we may not, we may just have like one stream this coming weekend. And that is going to be it until they figure that out.
wow. That's scary.
It's such big legal terms. I don't even remember what the hell it was already.
Was it Deep Room?
Yeah.
Okay.
Deep Root is this guy's name? What a great
And-
name.
It's another Polish guy that was drunk.
Your Honor, unfortunately, Mr. Roon and I did have an appointment, but I was in court and had to cancel. We have not had rescheduling of that appointment,
My
so
God, this
I have
attorney.
not talked to him at length.
Lady,
Okay.
Here.
Let's do this. The trial is not set till the 18th, so
Mm.
it's a week from Monday.
Mm.
How about if we put confirmation on, well, that won't work very well. Put confirmation on next Friday. Doesn't do much, I guess.
Well,
So are you hoping, do you have a waiver? Let me just ask.
I do have a waiver, Your Honor. I have to meet with him too, and my
Okay,
dates are out.
all right.
And then
State
try
have any
a couple
objection
weeks
to striking the current trial dates and resetting one time?
No objection, Your Honor.
Okay. And Mr. Roon, you're receiving text notices of hearings?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, very good. And you're still at 23632 South Somerville? Okay, came all the way down from Issaquah?
Yeah.
You made it
Wasting
before
your time.
405 closed?
Speaking of wasting your time, what do you got for us? Because he's just killing me with this. It's not so much him. I'm going to put it on
It's
the
the-
lawyer.
It's the lawyer. Yeah, lawyer ain't done her job. Before we jump, though,
Yeah.
don't forget, you can pick up yours. I took a huge shit in a Bucky's bathroom, stickers, t-shirts, shower curtains, and everything right there
Nice.
in the old store, as well as the now released Humble Brag shirt. Anything
Humble
for a
Brag
dollar.
shirt?
Creek. Anything
Okay,
for a
I
dollar.
like
Creek.
that. I like absolutely.
Literally for dollars.
Wars for money.
Absolutely. So this is a courtroom we've been in before, And this guy has asked something we don't typically see. He wants a TPO taken away. He wants it. Get it off of me.
Okay,
He wants
all
it
right.
gone. So
He also apparently is a big fan of a beard that he can't grow, just like you.
yeah, his name is David Beard II.
The second.
Versus David Beard II, 23-207-505 PT. This is Mr. Beard's motion has responded to terminate a personal protection order. He appears by the Zoom application. And I believe, sir, you are dialing in from Montana?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And also
Correct.
appearing is Ms. Razzo, who is in the courtroom. The court received a personal protection order petition filed August 2nd, 2023. A request for ex parte petition was provided.
So
The court authorized the personal protection order August 3rd, 2023. And that was, again, August 3. The respondent in this case, Mr. Beard, was served that personal protection order. Return of service indicates the same date, August 3rd, 2023.
there's a protective order against his comb as well.
Would you both please raise your right hands?
Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give in this case is the truth, the whole
Ill-fitting
truth, nothing
shirt.
but the truth, so help you God?
Not to be rude, but he looks like
Thank you.
somebody.
You both
does
may
a
put
lot
your
of
hands
stalking.
down. Mr. Beard, please state your name for the record.
David Thomas Beard II.
Esquire.
Mr. Beard, do you acknowledge you were served the personal protection order on August 3rd?
Yes.
Okay.
August 3rd.
Pursuant to MCR 3.707A1B, a response must be filed within 14 days after service. This is well beyond 14 days. Can you explain to the court good cause why you feel that this hearing should be held? What reason was it not filed within the 14 days?
I tried contacting the county clerk's office, and they took 5 days to respond to me back after the initial to get the motion to file to terminate.
When did you contact the clerk's office?
That Monday morning, and they did not get back a hold of me until like Thursday or Friday.
Those bastards.
So you were served
On a Friday night.
Friday night.
It was a Friday night.
And then I couldn't get anyone to give me any information or anything to file a motion until that following Friday.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because the person that had anything to do with the PPOs had went home early that day.
Well, they're supposed to get back to you like within a
Well, I
day.
know that the county clerk's
Hanging out,
office,
waiting for you to call?
One is unavailable, there are others that would take it regardless, but did you mail this back into the court?
Emailed.
Email,
That's what took it so long to get there.
because your motion to terminate was August 8th. It indicates August 18th.
That's what I
said. Just a moment, but the timestamp, it indicates filed August 21st.
Settle down, Junior.
The 18th is when it was emailed in.
Okay.
They didn't postmark
All
it right
We will
away.
proceed. Under the rules relative to personal protection orders, it is the petitioner's duty in going forward and to explain why a personal protection order should be continued. So, Miss, can you please explain to the court why you feel a personal protection order is warranted?
All right, before they start, Cree. So this guy, she just got it taken out on him on the 3rd of last month.
And he wants it already.
And
so
he already
quickly,
wants it just disbanded. He was late asking. Typically, if we see somebody asking for it removed, it's because the couple got back together or something. This seems like one of those situations where he just, like, hey, man. Hey. Enough of that. Beautiful shirt, by the way.
Are you kind of surprised if the judge is even entertaining it? Well, I guess is that a right of yours? You can try and repeal it? Maybe?
Yeah, he said you have 14 days when he was outside the 14 days when he asked for it, but we're going to let him proceed. So this ought to be interesting.
After I had came back from North Dakota, I had called him to let him know that I was here to enroll our oldest in school. And his first response was, "What the F are you doing? Why are you doing this?" And I was giving him a courtesy call if he wanted to be involved in the school enrollment process. And he had made a comment like this before. I never reported it. He confirmed the comment that he should have shot me in the face and got rid of me. And his dad would have been disappointed that he didn't do it.
His dad would be
Who's his
disappointed he
dad?
didn't
Charles
do it.
Manson? Oh my
David
God.
Beard the first.
Mr. David Beard, world-renowned serial killer, would have been so disappointed in you.
Boy, she came in swinging. Good for
All
her.
because she had moved there and started going to school?
Oh my God.
Hell, let's hear more.
Is there another personal protection order in effect in another state?
No. No, there's
This is
not.
the only one?
Yes.
Have you sought personal protection orders against this individual in the past in other jurisdictions, in other states?
No.
Okay. Not that that makes a difference. I just want to at least get a history here.
I had called the police, but I have not made any other reports.
My dad would be so disappointed. He's rolling over in his grave right now.
According to the response filed by Mr. Beard, he writes that you've been at his apartment, stayed the night with children, had dinner with him, but then you leave for Michigan, claiming you don't feel safe. How do you respond to that?
I would do anything for my kids. I was there, most of the time when I was there, he was working. I was working in Williston. I would drive to Sydney to watch them while he went to work so I could spend time with them. And then a babysitter would come, or he would come back from work and I would leave to go back so I could work. The night I spent the night, I didn't have a place. He essentially kicked me out. Half the time I didn't sleep when I was there. I was always paranoid, but I spent time with my kids and left as soon as I needed to leave to go back to work.
Your petition also reads that on August 1st, claimed that the respondent called you a piece of S, said his dad would be disappointed that he just didn't get rid of you.
Correct. I have recorded.
Audio recording
Correct.
of that statement or of other statements,
Multiple.
such as?
Can we hear them?
Did he hope that I would get raped to death?
Oh,
Wow, that's a weird way to die. I didn't even know that was possible. Terrible thing to say.
How about putting yourself through this, Mr. Beard here?
What an
Coming
idiot.
back.
Mr. Beard looking for a heaping helping of disappointment here today, I think. I don't know. I could be wrong. Judge might be like, look, a piece of ass, no, a piece
No,
of
S.
S.
That would be shite for some of you.
The judge, like I, wanted to censor the S word. All right. Well,
120 double D's. Thank you, Two Bones. Appreciate you.
boy, oh boy, oh boy.
This dude.
He put on his best shirt, buttoned it all the way up, and still did not run a comb through that beautiful mane. His dad would be so disappointed.
That I'm a POS mom and that the kids know that their mom's a whore. And I think he only told me to go after myself. And he hoped that I died.
Excuse me, can I say something?
Yes.
No.
You will. Yes, I'm just beginning with the petitioner.
Excuse me.
Your turn's coming, Bubba. Don't worry. Your turn's coming.
those recordings would be dated back in June.
I see that. Yep. Anything else you'd like to tell the court regarding why you believe this personal protection order should continue?
He's not persistent. He's very, I wouldn't say bipolar, but
Bisexual.
can't think of the word for it. He's unpredictable.
Crazy. Oh,
Yes.
okay.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Beard, this is your opportunity, sir. Go ahead.
All right, I have, the kids were supposed to go to Michigan. The whole discrepancy was, as me saying why getting mad about this whole thing is because the kids were supposed to go to her mom's house for a month. I dropped them off and get back to Montana, and then she calls me the day I get back to Montana saying she's in Michigan enrolling them in school. Prior to any of her recordings, her and her friends were sitting there telling me to kill myself, that I should go put my gun on and blow my brains out. And then she started recording what she has to show you.
Wow.
Anything else, sir?
Nope. Well, mostly I want my my constitutional rights restored. I haven't done anything wrong. I have not made any direct threats towards her. I don't wish any harm upon her. I just wish what's best for my kids, and I don't think my kids being away from me is what's best for them.
Oh no, of course not.
Okay. What constitutional rights are you claiming that are being impinged upon?
My Second Amendment right is being infringed upon currently.
Are you sure?
Second Amendment right to what?
Bear arms and purchase firearms.
Your Honor, the worst thing that's going on is I can't get more guns. I believe this isn't fair. My dad would be so disappointed.
He would be very disappointed if I wasn't strapped at all times. Your Honor.
Pops wanted me to carry at all times.
I will say this though, does suck if you're all the way in, where is he? Montana.
He's in Montana.
And the kid's all the way in Michigan. I mean, that is
Oof, well,
that's a long haul.
that's why you get along, son.
At the same time, if what she said is true, which I do believe her over him, considering that they got an order against him.
He also did not deny he said those things.
Yeah, no, he said
you
before.
just didn't hear the first part where her friends were telling him to pew pew herself. It was some creative editing, Your Honor.
Right.
That's all. Yes, I said those things. Of course I did.
Yes.
I had to up my game.
Do you imagine out of all of this, it's the pew pews that we're worried
That's
about?
the one thing that's his constitutional right. Any other rest of it, like seeing the kids, well, yeah.
Yeah.
According, my order doesn't have that box marked.
I went into
Excuse me. Purchasing or possessing a firearm was not marked on the court order.
I went to buy a shotgun last week and I got denied and flagged in the system under NCIC.
Okay.
Flagging.
Okay. Thank you. Any other comment? Yes.
That's all.
Yeah. He was just done something the other day.
All right. Petition has been filed regarding a personal protection order ex parte. It was granted by the court. I should say a motion has been filed by the respondent to discontinue the personal protection order. And as I stated, the petitioner, in this case, Ms. Razzo has the burden of persuasion in the hearing on a motion to either terminate or modify an ex parte personal protection order. That's citing the Pickering case.
What the? Did you just see that, Creed?
ING 250 motion.
Watch him.
Terminate or modify an ex parte personal protection order. That's citing the Pickering case. Pickering 253 Mishap 694 2002. And
yeah,
this is because the PPO statute and court rules are silent on the issue of burden of proof on a hearing to rescind or terminate. The procedures of court rule require that the burden of justifying continuation of the personal protection order is on the applicant for the restraint or for the restraining order. Based upon what the court has heard in this case, and I'm not sure why NCIC would flag or do anything like that, but it's very clear in the personal protection order, all it prohibits is the respondent, Mr. Beard, from entering on property where the petitioner lives, as contacting her by phone or entering onto property remaining or property owned, leased, or occupied by the petitioner, as well as threatening to kill or physically injure the petitioner. There is nothing in this order regarding firearms. Based upon the court has determined, the court will determine at this point that there is a sufficient basis for a personal protection order. The motion to terminate the personal protection order is respectfully denied. That'll be all. Thank you.
He's not too happy about that.
No, he is not. But what I'm happy about, this is what I'm happy about. Judge Stansberry, ladies and gentlemen.
So much for my
Good afternoon, ma'am. Are you
Stansberry
Miss Morgan?
photo.
Yes, sir.
And Ms.
Stash
Morgan,
is
do you
gone.
understand your rights in court today?
It is.
Um,
Did you watch the video about your rights?
yes,
Do you understand that information?
I've arraigned. Thank
Yeah.
you, Primo.
Okay. Well, you're here for two reasons. One reason is that Judge George issued a warrant for your arrest. It looks like earlier this month when you failed to appear for a trial in his court. And all I can do there, the only authority I have is to set the bond and refer the matter back to his office.
Good
You
to
do
see
have
you.
new charges, and we're going to address those from the top. Did you receive a copy of the two charges in the new case?
I did.
Did you get a chance to read them, and do you understand what it is you've been charged with? Not necessarily why or how, but you understand that those are the charges.
Just the who.
Yeah, I see they're on paper.
All right. Well, the first count, the Newark police are alleging that on or about
Roughly.
yesterday, here in Newark, Licking County, Ohio, that you did recklessly or by means of force resist or interfere with your own arrest. That's known as resisting arrest. It's a misdemeanor of the second degree. Maximum penalty is a 90-day jail term up to a $750 fine. The second count alleges at the same time, date, and location that you, without privilege to do so, and with the purpose to hinder, obstruct, or delay the performance by a public official of any act authorized within his or her official capacity, performed an act which indeed hampered or impeded that public official in the performance of their lawful duties. That's just a very long-winded way of saying obstructing official business, which is also a misdemeanor of the second degree with the exact same maximum possible penalty. So do you understand what the maximum penalties are for the two charges that have been filed against you here?
Thank you. And H&W, thank you.
Yeah, and again,
Penalty, yes.
yeah, I don't want you to get caught up on
Yes.
the particulars of why these charges got filed. I just need to verify that you understand what they are and the penalties that they carry. And it sounds to me
Yes.
like you do. So what is your current address? Or, I mean, I'm sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. How do you want to plead?
Not guilty.
All right, now I need your address.
470 Edgemont Road,
That didn't work.
Newark, Ohio.
Okay, now your complaint says 475. Is it 475 or 470?
It is 470.
Okay, and is there an
Yes.
apartment?
No.
Okay, because they have 475 Edgemont Apartment B.
Yeah, I see that now. No, I used to live at 465 Edgemont Road, apartment B.
Okay. You know
But
what?
now I live
I
at
gotta tell you,
470.
yeah, and your information on the
Like they changed it or something.
well, actually, your information on the Uniform Incident
Why?
Report lists the 465 Edgemont Road, Apartment B address. I'm assuming that's where they got
Not
that
very old
address
at all.
from, but where they got that to put it in the Uniform
The
Incident
movie
Report, I
roll
don't
was
know.
over.
Yeah, I don't know either because I multiply told them 470.
Are you employed, Miss Morgan?
No, sir, I'm not.
Do you receive disability benefits, or are you just between jobs?
No, I'm unemployed and I do not receive benefits.
Okay.
Okay. I'm way between jobs, Your Honor.
I'm not between jobs.
Okay.
I'm not looking.
So you're not in the job market, is what you're saying.
I'm not looking for financial income,
I'm rich, bitch.
for financial stability at this time.
Jeez.
All right. I'm going to give you an opportunity to make a statement before I set your bond. You don't have to, and it's not wise to talk about what may or may not have happened yesterday with the fellas from Newark Police. But is there anything other than that you want to tell me before I set your bonds here?
on.
Can you repeat what you just said?
You want to say anything before I decide what your bond should be? And you don't have to.
But it's not wise to talk about what happened. No, I don't think that would be. I think I'll say hands-free.
Okay.
Hands-free?
All right.
Hands-free, that's all I'd like to say.
What the does
Fair
that
enough.
mean?
Spot on.
Sir.
Remember, over on the Discord, all the way down to the bottom, you can claim your, is it called
Okay,
MFT, I
so
believe?
whenever
MFT.
I get a case that has been assigned to another judge and I'm called upon to set a bond for that person after a warrant had been issued for their arrest, I will typically defer to that judge and his or her judgment because they know the case better. And frankly, if the roles were reversed, I'd want the same from them regarding my judgment. When Judge George issued the warrant for your arrest, and by the way, I said it was issued earlier this month. I was wrong. It was issued September 2nd. That's correct.
Gage, thank
But
you.
that was September 2nd of last year. So when,
Yeah,
the
I
warrant,
didn't get an email.
yeah, when the warrant went out, Miss Morgan, Judge
Last
George
year.
put a $1,500 cash surety or 10% bond on it. And as I mentioned, I'm going to go ahead and defer to his judgment and leave the bond in that amount. And in fact, I'm going to set bond in the new case in the same amount as well, $1,500 cash surety or 10%. Now,
Thank you,
these
Mom.
cases will be ran. Well, the old case will go back to Judge George, get set for a hearing, and you'll get notice by mail. If you're still in the jail, they'll bring you over here. The new case gets randomly assigned to a judge, set for a trial, and we send you notice by mail. And again, if you're still unable to post the bond, we will get you here. You have the right to be represented by an attorney in both cases, and you're eligible to ask the court to appoint one to represent you. You can get the application form at the jail, and if you're not going to be able to get released by posting bond, the jail will send your application down here for you. Understand?
I just don't understand what address it was sent to,
Yeah, I don't know either, but there are a few other things.
because I don't
tried to
remember
fix
getting
on.
anything in the mail. Okay, I understand that.
Okay,
Ohio.
well, and by the way,
Newark, Ohio.
you know, you're going to sign bond paperwork
Licking
when you're
County.
down there here as soon as I finish up.
Please.
Just look at it and make sure it's right. And if it's wrong, put down the right address. All right?
Yeah, I just didn't know what you said it was sent last year, but to what address, because I didn't get it.
Right.
And when I've been in court, I repeatedly said what my address now is. I've lived at this address for 7 years now.
Yeah.
So I'm not
Family home.
understanding where the problem is.
Yeah, there's no indication that the notice came back, and the notice went to 470 Edgemont Road, and that was in August of last year. So I'm not sure what happened, but I'll tell you what, you and Judge George can get to the bottom of it, okay?
Nice to be in the
Yes, sir.
mailbox.
All right, then you may go with the officer. Thank you, ma'am.
Yes.
So what am I doing then?
Thank you, Sue.
No!
Thank you.
Good weekend. Let's hope for a lot of rain.
It's been so long.
Okay. Thank you, Judge Stansbury. Have a good weekend.
You do the same, Miss Morgan. Thank you.
All right,
That didn't just make
people
your
in the
Friday.
gallery.
That didn't just make your Friday.
All
That
right.
was Susa.
Well, for those of you who are
Why?
waiting here in the courtroom, thank you very much for your patience. It's very much appreciated. They're in a little tiny room down there. Plus, believe it or not, there tend to be sometimes people who aren't real happy and make lots of noise and make it hard to hear. So we try to get those out of the way as quickly as possible.
Those of you
Now, when
who
I
are
call
new
your name, you're going to
this
come
is
up here to
where
the
we
bench
see
in
a
front of
lot
me, and I'm going to ask you for a rights in
unlicensed
court
dogs.
form. That's the one that should have your initials in the boxes next to each paragraph and your signature at least once at the end. Then I need to
Thank
verify
you.
that at some point in time you received a copy of your complaint or your ticket. And don't worry, it's not required that you have it here with you today. So if you don't freak out. If you do, don't feel compelled to pull it out and show me when I ask you if you got a copy, because if you tell me yes, I'll believe you.
When in
Now,
doubt.
once we're through those formalities, it's time for you to enter a plea. You can plead not guilty, you can plead guilty, or you can plead no contest. If you don't want to be found guilty, convicted, and sentenced today, don't plead no contest, plead not guilty. A no contest plea is not an admission of guilt. It cannot be used against you later on if any civil or criminal matters arise out of the same events. But it's an admission that the facts that have been alleged against you are true. So when you plead no contest, you're not saying, like, let's say, for instance, speeding ticket. Let's say you got charged with going 69 and a 55. If you plead no contest, you're not saying to me,
69.
Judge, I'm guilty of speeding. You're saying, Judge, I'm not admitting any guilt here, but what they say happened is true. And what they say happened is true.
Today's lucky
On the
number is
speeding ticket,
13
it's how
and
fast you were going, what the
69.
speed limit was. If, let's say, it's a criminal damaging, they have to show that you recklessly damaged or created a substantial risk of harm to a property of another. If you plead no contest, the facts that you're agreeing with are here in the court file, and I will look at them in the form of police narrative reports, witness statements. And if the facts in the file are sufficient to sustain whatever it is you're charged with, I'm going to find you guilty. So again, if you don't want to be found guilty, plead not guilty, not no contest. If you do plead not guilty today, your case gets randomly assigned to a judge. We set it for trial. We send you notice by mail. When you leave here after pleading not guilty, you'll be signing on some bond paperwork down in the clerk's office. It'll take you a second to look up in the upper left-hand corner to make sure that the address that we have down for you is correct and complete, including any PO boxes, apartments, halves, rears, what have you. If you don't take the second necessary to look at that and it's wrong, you're probably not going to get your notice. If you don't get your notice, you're probably not going to show up. And what happens if you don't show up? Well, when you finally do get arrested on the warrant that we will issue that day, you see me, but this time on the TV. And that's a much less fun way to deal with your case. All right. Now, on that day, if you want to change your plea to guilty or no contest, you can. You're not going to get a harsher sentence, but you'll get some additional court costs. A plea of guilty is a complete admission of guilt. If you want to plead guilty, good for you, but be sure that's what you want to do because you'll be giving up your rights to the trial. The state won't be required to prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt.
It'll be the first time I was lied
Your presumption of
to.
innocence is gone, and you do admit to committing the offense. And if you do want to take care of it that way, hey, that's great. You get your case resolved, we get one less on our docket. But be sure it's what you want to do because it is hard to go backwards in the justice system. The only other thing I want to say before I start calling cases is I want to talk to you about lawyers real quick. No matter what it is you're charged with, if you're sitting in a courtroom facing a citation or a criminal charge, you have a right to be represented by an attorney, and you can go out and hire one if you wish. If you're looking at possible or mandatory jail time based on what you're sentenced or what you're charged with, then you not only can hire private counsel if you wish, but you are eligible to ask the court to appoint an attorney to represent you, which we will be happy to do if you qualify based upon your income and your expenses. You already have the application form. It was part of the paperwork you got when you signed in. Now, for those of you, if you want to get a lawyer, plead not guilty today. For those of you who intend to hire private counsel, start making phone calls at your first convenience because you need to find out an accurate figure that you're going to need to be able to come up with before an attorney will get involved. And you need to have a realistic assessment of your ability, in fact, to afford that. If you're eligible to apply for court-appointed counsel, but you want to hire your own attorney, I would strongly recommend that you fill out your application anyway, because if you qualify, you're going to have a lawyer no matter what. There won't be any unnecessary delays. And then if you are able to hire your own counsel,
that's a long
thing
today, isn't it? This isn't
no longer involved.
Do you think the thing is broke?
What
The
normally
TV
happens,
that they
though,
usually
for folks in that
watch?
circumstance is they find out somewhere along the line after they get arraigned that
Anyway,
they're not.
he does this. We'll say this. Florida Friday today, and we got a chase, and then members only for the main channel. FYI,
A lot of good stuff going into that. You don't want to miss it. I'm telling you, peace and love. You don't want to miss it. You still hate Judge George. I still hate Judge George too. I watched him the other day and I tried to record it, and it was the end of a case.
Oh, son of a bitch. Stansbury is still going.
By the way, if you have not already subscribed to Iowa Golfers channel, Iowa Backyard Cam, I did drop a link today over on the community page on the main channel. And I saw she's up over 100 subscribers now.
Oh, yeah.
All we got to do is get her to 500. She can start making some of that sweet, sweet Skrilla.
Sweet money.
Most people don't like that. So deal with your case in a timely fashion and move on with your life. If you have a question, please feel free to ask when you're up here. Our first case today is going to be Brianna.
There we go.
All right, Brianna. Jesus, how late does your daughter go to school?
Ms. Snyder, come on up. You understand your rights in court today?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. And did you receive a copy of the, looks like we've got complaints, well, plural. It doesn't look like you do because I've got them right here.
Yeah, I have not.
Okay, so the first count alleges that on or about August the 19th of this year in Etna Township, Licking County, Ohio, that you, without privilege to do so, and with the purpose to hinder, obstruct, or delay the performance by a public official of any act authorized within their official capacity, indeed performed an act which hampered or impeded a public official in the performance of their lawful duties. Commonly known as obstructing official business, it's a misdemeanor of the second degree, carries up to 90 days in jail, up to a $750 fine. The second count alleges that on the same date, time, and location that you did recklessly or by means of force resist with your own arrest. That's also a second-degree misdemeanor, and the penalties are exactly the same. So do you understand those are what the charges are?
Yes, sir.
And how do you wish to plead, Ms. Snyder?
Not guilty.
And what is your current address?
26 Orchard Glen Drive, Etna, Ohio, 43062.
All right. Are you employed? Do you go to school? What do you do?
I am employed.
Where do you work?
Was New LLC.
And what is that? What do they do?
We're a resale store.
Okay.
Oh. God,
like
was
consignment?
new.
From
not
home.
Consignment. He buys out estates and does auctions.
Gotcha. Okay. Let me take a quick look here.
Is that where she got her clothes at? Because I thought she was
thinking,
going to short at Johnny Rockets with their outfit.
So she's got a sweet jean jacket on.
Got her hair all tied up, ready.
The BB. He's got himself an airsoft pew pew.
He was not happy about that.
It does look a little bit like that. What's worse, a bra on your head or a teepee for your bunghole in the back? Your head.
Oh,
big crowd today.
Look at the person on the very far back. It's like sitting in church, right, Hunter? Me and Hunter sit in the back of the church together sometimes. You know you're guilty when you're right there. Hard socks everywhere. She at least is honest.
They closed the Johnny Rockets in Myrtle Beach and the one up at Harrah's Cherokee Casino. Earl of Sandwich is still there. Thank God.
The one in Myrtle Beach was always so dirty when I went in there.
Well,
There's like
Broadway.
they're just like like a million people had been through there. It just,
Oh yeah. Well, you
Okay.
well was.
All right. So, Miss Snyder, I'm going to release you on your own recognizance, and this case is going to be randomly assigned and set for a trial. And you're
Urban
going to go to
Gold.
bail. I've already talked to you about the steps of getting an attorney. So, do you have any questions?
Do I get to take that?
I'm about to say the record shall reflect that I'm handing you your copy of the
Thank
complaint.
you.
That was a lot
You
better.
may go with the bail. Good luck.
Glad you got it.
Thank you. Go sew
Jerry
some
Schwartz?
old clothes.
This lady's
That's-
a real
They have beautiful hair.
Come on up, Miss Schwartz. You understand your rights in court today? Can I see your
May
rights
the
form, please?
Schwartz
Thank
be
you.
with you.
Did you receive a copy of the complaint? Did you read it? Did you understand it?
Yes.
The Licking County Sheriff is alleging that on or about September the 4th of this year in Licking Township, Licking County, Ohio, that you, without privilege to do so, and with the purpose to hinder, obstruct, or delay the performance by a public official of any act authorized within their official capacity,
Wow.
performed an act which hampered or impeded a public official in the performance of their lawful duties. Commonly known as obstructing official business, it's a misdemeanor of the second degree, and it carries up to 90 days in the county jail and up to a $750 fine. So do you understand that's the charge that's been filed? And how do you wish to plead today? No contest. Now, before I can accept your no contest plea, I need to go over a few things with you. The first of which is you are not required to plead guilty. Nobody can force you to do, or no contest, I'm sorry. Nobody can force you to do that. The state has the burden of proof beyond a reasonable doubt, and you are presumed to
Urban Gold.
Yes.
Gotta start somewhere.
You have the right to have a trial with a judge or a jury of your peers. Do you understand that? You also have the right to be represented by an attorney. Now, you have the right to hire counsel, but you're also eligible to ask the court to appoint an attorney to represent you at no cost, which we will do if you were to qualify. The benefit of having an attorney is somebody who's trained in the law, who can advise you of any defenses that you might have, motions that can be made on your behalf to improve your circumstances, and in general, try to get you the best possible outcome with your case. Would you like to have an attorney's assistance in this matter, or did you wish to give up your right to a lawyer?
Well,
okay. Now, even without a lawyer, as I mentioned, you do have the right to a trial with a judge or jury, and at that trial, you would have the right to question the witnesses against you. Understand? It's called cross-examination. You got to say it out loud. Do you understand? Furthermore, you would have the right to compel the attendance of your own witnesses at the trial by way of the court's subpoena power. Do you understand that? And you would have a right not to testify if you didn't want to, and nobody could make you. And if you didn't, it wouldn't be held against you in any way. Do you understand that? Now, a no contest plea doesn't admit guilt, but it does admit the truth of the facts that have been alleged against you. And there's a police report in here that I haven't had a chance to look at yet, but I'll be reading through that before I make any decisions. And if the facts that you're dealing with as being true based on your no contest plea are enough to support the charge of obstructing official business, I would in fact find you guilty. Do you understand? Okay. Have you ever been in trouble before? Okay.
You look like
Did
trouble,
you
baby.
See the thing about the diversion program?
Diversion program.
Okay, so
Did we
diversion
make the
program
charge
is a program for first-time offenders who are willing to take responsibility for
resisting
what they're
arrest?
charged with. And if they're accepted into the program,
Like
they
obstruction?
enter a plea of guilty, which is then set aside. So there's no conviction at that point. They're given the opportunity to successfully complete the program, which lasts for 1 year. And if they're able to do so, then the charge gets dismissed No conviction will have ever been entered, and at that point, on the day of dismissal, you would be eligible to ask the court to seal the record that the charge was ever even filed. So, but it's conditioned upon that guilty plea, which is important because if it goes sideways in diversion, you can't come back and then go, well, in that case, I just want to plead not guilty and have a trial judge. If you're interested in that, we would handle things a little bit differently. As far as what we're doing today, you wouldn't enter a no contest plea, you'd enter a not guilty plea here today, and then go through the process of making the application, which basically is filling out a questionnaire and having a meeting with the officer in charge of the program. Are you interested in pursuing diversion? Or do you just want to plead no contest today? So it's entirely up to you. It's your life, your case.
It's your life.
Okay, fair enough.
Thanks for wasting the
if you plead
judge's
no
time.
contest, the state no longer has to prove anything in order for me to find you guilty. Do you understand that? And furthermore, if you plead no contest, you will be giving up all those rights we've just discussed, including, most importantly, your right to a trial.
Look at the Loud coming in swinging.
And if I accept your plea and enter conviction here today,
Oh, cheap membership for sale. Love it.
You do have questions? No questions? Have you been threatened in any way or promised anything to get you to do this?
No.
Are you under the influence of anything right now? And are you a citizen of the United States of America?
Yes, sir.
All right. I'm going to give you a form which is entitled Attorney Waiver. You're not required to waive your right to counsel, but if it is your decision to do so, it is required that you do it in writing. Okay. So let me fill this out real quick for you. It's SWARTZ.
D, make a good choice this day. Welcome.
Did you bond out the same right?
Yes.
Yeah, Pamela, but usually it's not for such a small charge.
Okay, I'm going to give you a form entitled Attorney Waiver.
Right.
I want you to actually read it
Not
because when you come
typically.
back up, I'm going to ask you if you did and whether you understood it. And if it is your decision to waive your right to counsel, just sign by the yes. So I'll give you the form. You can use the table to write on. It's easier than that restraint bar. There you go. And then when you're finished, just come right back up.
Wow, she's going all the way out to the nice desk and sitting down. And she's going to take her time. What do you think the tattoos all the way in the back there, the last church pew? What do you think?
Definitely something good. By the way, while he's reading that, I want you to look at this picture right here.
Okay.
I was
come on back
checking
up,
out
Miss,
this guy right here.
Do you authorize my staff to sign the indictment for you indicating your client's guilty plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Jordan?
Yes, Your Honor.
And Mr. Hill, is it okay?
Statement.
Tell you that's him.
Love it. Tiny Piggy, thank you, Tip Balls. Thank you.
Hold me closer, tiny piggy.
See, it's nice when we're doing this way. You have some time to do some MFTs.
Oh, I know. I have like all the time in the world right now. I love it.
That's the sign of a true artiste, kid.
You know, I got to get in the zone.
Why? Just because she has tattoos, T? Just kidding.
She might be there for public lovins.
I don't know. We haven't had any dog-related issues yet, FYI. So that's
A lot of maybe today's doc is just all people that obstructed justice.
maybe. But so that doesn't necessarily mean like you're pulling away from the cops when you're getting hooked up. That could be anything.
It could be a number of things.
Yeah.
It's such a blanket term. But she went ahead and said no contest. She didn't want deferment. No, sir. I want this on my record. I want the world to know what I did.
That I'm a badass.
I want all the women's. Hold me closer, Tony Danza.
Okay, so Ms. Schwartz, I've had an opportunity to review the narrative report of the deputy that was involved. As I said, you have a right to make a statement about the events at issue here, but you're not required to. Is there anything you do wish to say?
Misunderstanding of events that took place. We do not have any drugs or alcohol or cigarettes on our premises. My husband was in need of ambulance care, and so I contacted the ambulance to
Thank you.
check him out because he has a history of heart issues and overexertion. It was a hot day, so I was concerned for him.
She's going to do a list of excuses. I just started my period.
And the officer asked him,
I just started menopause.
that's what I assessed, and I went to help him. I was there to help him and be there for what he needed.
All right. Anything else you want to add?
So she said it was a hot day.
She had heart problems.
She had heart problem. She was just there to help.
I wasn't on any alcohol or drugs.
No cigarettes either, I believe she said.
Yes.
There weren't any cigarettes around.
No foul use of tobacco.
All right. You've never been in trouble before, and nothing that I read in that narrative report tells me that you have issues that
Lock her up, send her to
services we
school
would
5
be
years.
able to provide would be
Come on, Judge Stansbury.
even relevant.
Suke him out and cuff this bitch.
So I'm simply going to impose a financial sanction here, along with an order of community service. So I'll make it a $250 fine. I will order that you pay the court costs, and I'll order that you perform 20 hours of community service.
How many?
20 hours of community service.
Jeez.
I mean, that's quite a
And
bit.
I'll say that needs to be completed within 90 days. Now, when you finish in the clerk's office, you'll go straight down to the basement where the probation department is. You're not on probation, but that's the office that will help you coordinate your hours. If you don't go down there today, you'll probably forget about the hours. And if you don't do the hours, that's considered indirect contempt of the court's order to perform them, and could result in a jail term of up to 30 days, up to a $250 fine in addition to what's already been ordered, and more court costs. So basically, get your financial sanction taken care of, get downstairs, get your hours out of the way, and seems to be.
She's going to leave today and go buy an
let's make sure we
outfit
get back
just to
normal.
do
You have
community
any other
service.
questions today? Then you may go with the bailiff, and your husband will catch up with you shortly.
She must have done something
Schwartz,
pretty bad. $250 fine plus 20 hours of community service.
come on up. You understand your rights in court today?
Another
Did you receive a
badass.
copy of your complaint? Did you read it? Did you
Obstruction.
understand it?
Come on.
Looks like there are 3 counts in
sure.
your case. The first is obstructing official business. I'm not going to read
It
that
is.
lengthy definition again. But again, that is a second-degree misdemeanor up to 90 days in jail, up to a $750 fine.
They work on the railroad.
The second count alleges that same date, time, and location that you recklessly or by means of force resisted or interfered with your lawful arrest. That's considered resisting arrest. It's also a second-degree misdemeanor with the same penalties. And then the third count alleges that on that same date, time, and location that you did while voluntarily intoxicated, engage in conduct or create a condition that presented a risk of physical harm to you or another, or to the property of another, and did continue after a reasonable request to stop. That's commonly known as disorderly conduct persisting. It's a 4th-degree misdemeanor, and that carries up to $250 in fines and up to a 30-day jail term. You understand? And how do you wish to plead to these charges? Now, a no contest plea is not an admission of guilt. It is an admission, however, of the truth of the facts alleged against you. If the facts is contained in the police report, and I've already read the police report, obviously, are
Another old guy on the party liquor.
Here, I will find you guilty of those charges and impose sentence upon you today. Do you understand that? Now, you're presumed to be not guilty. The state has the burden of proof, and you have a right to enter a plea of not guilty and
Every time it
have a
moves.
trial with either a judge or a jury. Do you understand? Now, you also have the right to be represented by an attorney, and if you could not afford one, we would.
By the way,
appoint
while
one
he's
to
reading
represent you at
that,
no cost.
I want to show you the
much like I
worst
just
use of a fake background for a Zoom court.
Yeah.
I mean, why did you even put it up today if you're shooting from this angle? I mean,
it's printed
why
out.
why the fuck would you even do that? I mean,
that's so bad.
Yes.
Oh my God.
I have tons of books behind me.
See, even
right
if
now.
it was a tight shot though on that, it's
Dude, that'd
that
be real-
Amazon half-ass printed stuff that's not even bright or anything. It looks terrible.
It'd have to be, she'd have to be like Bishop level close to the camera just to
Oh
get
yeah,
the books
just like right there.
in.
Daughter uses TikTok.
What an
It does look like a damn curtain though.
These charges. Do you understand that? And furthermore, a no contest plea would result in a waiver of those rights that we just discussed, including, most importantly, your right to a trial. Understand that? Yes. And if I accept your pleas of no contest and convictions, I am going to impose sentence upon you today. Did you understand the maximum possible penalties that I explained for each charge? Yeah. Okay. And then have you been threatened in any way or promised anything to get you to do this? Like, has anybody said, hey, if you don't do this, we're going to do you physical harm or mess up your house? Anybody promise to cut your lawn or give you money to do this? All right. Are you currently under the influence of any alcohol, drugs, or even any medication to the extent that it affects your ability to understand what's going on around you?
You're
No? Okay. And then,
I don't know. Are you, Your Honor?
lastly, are you a citizen of the United States? I am. Okay, very good. I've had an opportunity to review the deputy's report already. The court finds that there is sufficient basis in the report to sustain the 3 charges. So I'll go ahead and enter guilty findings. That being said,
I'm just wondering if I could explain.
you have the right to make a statement.
Oh,
I was about to turn things over to you for just that
Please do.
purpose. What would you
Take
like
it
to say, if
away.
anything?
I had been arthritis for 3 years. I lost my insurance because they could not pay $5,000 a month for my Eptogen for a shot. So I've been looking online to doing things. My brother is married to a Chinese lady, and I ordered some stuff from PT from Thailand. It's supposed to help for arthritis. Well, this says for alcohol, but I don't have alcohol, so I use rubbing alcohol with shark cartilage, seaweed, and stuff that I bought from Kimmer's Corner. And that goes with white vinegar and brown vinegar, is supposed to, and then with cayenne pepper, is supposed to mix it together, and you will get real hot. Well, I went to my van, I started to get hot. I didn't tell my wife because she don't like me doing these concoctions trying to take care of arthritis. So I went to my van, I started up, I started getting hot, then I started getting sick because I mixed the 4, you got to crush the 4 leaf in with the drink to activate your tendons of your arthritis. So that's what happened. I sit in the van, I got sick, and I threw up. And I wear hearing aids and I wear glasses. I did not have them on, and I did not hear everything they were saying because I was like delusional, and I was so sick, and I was just to the point I didn't know. And I've not been in trouble in 50 years, and I've done everything by the law that I can do.
All right. Is there anything else that you'd like to say before I make any decisions here?
Okay.
All right. Are you retired?
No, I'm work every day.
Where do you
I
work?
have my own business. I'm a
What do you-
contractor.
Well, okay.
I cut grass.
And I work with the young people over at Lancaster with my brother for the correctional center. We put them to work.
Okay.
Okay, so he's got really bad arthritis, and it was like $5,000 a shot or whatever. 'cause
Yeah.
Insurance is gone.
But you know, sometimes it's just I just
So
look
the
at it,
neighbor-
it's just, people just don't understand.
His brother-in-law is married to a China woman.
Married to a China woman.
Yes. If more people had patience, I'd have less people standing in front of me.
So he drank rubbing alcohol?
I put rubbing alcohol in
Understand it. He's
to the
sick.
mix of
Well,
everything.
He's sick. There's something wrong with he's sick, and there was no alcohol. I said I haven't drank alcohol in 45 years, and we don't smoke, we don't drink, we don't do drugs.
I'm trying to remember.
Don't drink,
Obviously,
don't
they
smoke.
suspected
What do you do?
that you were under the influence, and he claims that he could smell.
With lots of other stuff.
It was rubbing alcohol.
Yeah.
With apple cider vinegar and cayenne pepper.
I'm willing to take your word for it. I wasn't there, so.
I mean, I promise. I have nothing to lie. If he'd have just given me the chance to try to explain. But
Couldn't he have
tased
just-
me. And then when he got out of the van, my wife didn't know it. He tased me, and I went down.
You
and I
tased
fell
him?
on the corner of the bumper of the truck, and I broke 3 of my ribs. I've got 3 ribs broken now.
That's
Can we request a body cam of that, please?
X-ray, and he said all they can do is wrap it.
That's
And
right.
give me medicine. I said, well, I don't take pills. I'll just wait it out.
Yeah, well, I mean, you break ribs, just breathing hurts.
So there I was, ordering something
all right.
else from China
Here's
for
what we're
broken
gonna do
ribs.
today. You really don't have any record whatsoever, except
No,
for stuff
that's what
back
I'm
in the 80s as well. So I'm not going to put you on probation. I'm not going to put you in jail over any of this, but it'll be something similar to your wife's sentence. So on the obstructing official business, $200.
That was his wife?
On the resisting, $150.
Oh, was it?
20 hours of community service. within
Somebody
90
mentioned
days,
it.
and then the
That's it.
disorderly conduct is going to be an additional
Maybe it was her.
$150. They'll tell you exactly how much you owe and when it's going to be due when you get down to the clerk's office.
He doesn't take pills.
But before we wrap things up, you indicated that you wanted to waive your right to counsel, which you're not required to do, but if that's your decision, it is required that you do it in writing. So I'm going to hand you this form entitled Attorney Waiver. You can use that table to write on it. When you're finished, come on back up.
Damn. What a story that
He
licking
tased
provided.
him.
He had to be tased. Wow.
Wow. Oh boy.
Wow.
All right. So, Mr. Schwartz, did you have an opportunity to review that form?
Yeah.
Did you read it and did you understand it?
I did, sir.
Is that your signature?
Yes, sir.
And is it your intention to waive your right to an attorney?
Yes, sir.
Okay, very well. So I'll accept the waiver. I actually usually do that earlier in the process. I just kind of overlooked it this time, but still could. All right. So do you have any questions?
I think he's an out
Very
here.
well. I didn't mention this to your wife, but you can certainly pass it along. You will be eligible in 1 year's time to ask the court to seal the record of this case, if you wish, as long as you don't have current pending charges at that time. You just need to submit a request in writing, and there's a $50 filing fee. Okay, you don't need a lawyer
And
to
for
ask the record
$100,
to be sealed.
Creed and Mikey will
You can
delete
get
this
one if you
video.
want, but I mean, most people just write in and say, "Hey, I'd like this record sealed."
Who do we write to?
The court,
Okay.
yeah, me basically.
You? Okay.
Yep. All right. Any other questions?
My
today?
record
Then you may go with the
sealed.
bailiff. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Wow.
Rachel
Holy
Schreider.
Shit. What a weird one.
That was a great one.
Come on
My
up.
wife don't like me doing all these concoctions, Your Honor, and well. Yeah.
All right, let's
Come on up.
see.
You understand your rights?
Yes.
All right. May I have your rights form, please?
Almost your Brasa.
That's the one. Did you receive a copy of the citation in your case?
I believe so.
Okay, it's from January, so it's been a little while.
Right.
Uh,
it has.
Yeah, the Highway Patrol is alleging that on or about January the 29th of this year, approximately 12:38 a.m., you're operating a green 2008 or 2018 rather Ford sedan on Manning Street in the city of North and Lincoln County, Ohio. At which time you went left of center on the roadway. It's a minor misdemeanor, and the maximum penalty is a $150 fine. I'll give you an opportunity.
You were riding with your mom
They've
and
also
dad.
hit you with what's called a distracted driving enhancement. In essence, the allegation is that you were engaged in something that wasn't related to driving that distracted you from that purpose. And it doesn't necessarily have to be a phone. It can be a cheeseburger. It can be whatever. So that is the conviction of the enhancement itself requires the court to impose a $100 fine. No more, no less. It's mandatory, but it's also refundable based on watching a short video online that's free. And then if you haven't paid the fine yet, you don't have to pay it. If you did already pay the fine for that, once you
Tune
complete
in
that,
tonight
they get
for
you.
Left of Center.
You understand what the charges are?
With Fat Guy.
Okay. And by the way, the record should reflect that I did get an opportunity to review your email to the court. So didn't look like there was really a whole lot of, it was more of an explanation as opposed to a request for anything. So that's why I didn't take any action on it. That being said, how do you wish to plead to these two charges?
Not guilty.
And what is your current address?
Oh, I didn't do it, Your Honor.
This is where I have this problem. I don't have one.
Yeah. Do you have a mailing address?
Where it's been sending, there's two different people living there. It's kind of my boyfriend's mother and his grandma, and his grandma keeps sending stuff back. His mom's trying to keep the stuff. Yeah,
Is it the Buckingham Street
Yes.
address? Okay. Well, you can track your own case online.
Right.
You can always call the clerk's office.
Stop.
What'll happen
We
after
don't
today
talk.
is it'll get randomly assigned to a judge and then get
Thanks,
set for a
Double L.
trial. And because this is a minor misdemeanor, speedy trial is going to dictate that they're going to set this pretty darn quick,
Right.
probably within the next 2 to 3 weeks.
Right.
Okay.
Now I do have a question because
Enough of her. This potato thing, I need. I
I don't even want to talk about this.
I
potato
know.
thing.
Listen. I didn't say anything. I accidentally clicked on one comment.
I saw.
of it.
I saw.
I tried to stay away from it because now I'm actually intrigued and it's disgusting.
Maybe members only. I don't know, but definitely not here.
No,
is that a seasoned tater?
not just that. God Almighty! Listen, today was kind of a trip down memory road, if you will, but it was a live one. I wanted to do that for a while. Miss Licking, and Licking just brought it today.
Always.
So
Always.
I'm really glad that we were able to do that. We got to see Sue today, which is a big thing because it has been quite a while.
Is it a russet potato?
Stop.
Or is it
no more?
Or is it a red potato?
Just stop. Just stop.
So before we leave, again, this court, we didn't get to watch anything over here. But when I look and I see a guy in court over drugs, he's wearing a shirt that says stoners on it.
That's always good.
It's always something that I just got to pull away now. Just got to stop. Another fun day in the books. Another week in the books.
Well, for court, anyways. The Friday Express. LaShaw, thank you for the memberships. Gary, Miss K, Wonder Twin, Double D, Aqua Rain, the girls, the Girls, H&W, KHD, welcome. to the fam. Tiny Piggy, thank you guys so much. We'll be back 405 East, huh?
Unknowingly, the Monterey Monorail named after the Potato Talk.
Yeah,
I sure do love them French fried taters.
Up the potatoes.
Potato Friday.
It's not Potato Friday.
All right, guys, we'll be back at 4:05 Eastern time. That's 2 hours from now. Back here on if you're watching on We Got a Case, you can check us out on Credence and Mikey on the YouTubes, or if you're feeling frisky, you can go over to We Gotta Chase and watch over there. Don't forget, Credence and Mikey will be having a members only tonight at 5:30 Eastern time. Make sure you're there for that. Till then, stay safe, stay hard, stay away from them potatoes.
That's for sure.
You guys have a good one, and we'll see you real soon. Friday. Look at a shocked look on our faces.